not were on the Board of County Commissioners. The concept of the town center was to identify places along Route 4 where you currently have commercial development activity now, and to preserve the land in between to give us the rural landscape.
Right.
So that's where that whole concept came from.
That's right. The town centers is where development was going to be encouraged. Now, we know that Lusby has become a major town center, but they still have the same rules that Huntingtown does. Their town center was just updated. I don't know how big the Giant store is, but I think they can have a little bit bigger stores. But in any event, so originally it was a way to keep the rural character and to concentrate the growth in town centers. Owings has grown very little, as you all know. It's where the bank and the dash-in is, and it's some of the same issues with roads. Huntingtown has not grown. St. Leonard has grown. Their master plan's been updated. The Solomon's master plan's been updated. The Lusby's town center master plan's updated. They started to do Huntingtown. We started to do it about 6 years ago, and we had to stop because we didn't know where the roads were going to go. Don? This is Don Louises, who lives on Shackles Road.
Could you explain, if we go from a town center to a rural village, what does that mean? Do the roads become county roads, or are they still state roads, or what does that mean? Can you define it?
Yes. Well, because Don's question is, what would, if we pushed for Huntingtown to be downzoned to a rural village, what would that mean in terms of the roads? The roads would still be owned by State Highway because State Highway owns them. They would have to try to work something out with Mr. Bresnahan. He had a very bad experience with State Highway when he lived somewhere else. And he will not even talk to them. So that's a whole issue. But if the main difference would be that if what Huntingtown itself looked like was different from the way it says in the plan, and I have some of the draft plans here, and you can get it right on the internet from, go to the county website, and then the community planning and building website, and then Huntingtown Town Center Master Plan. And you can look at it and you'll go, what? Townhouses, multifamily development, sewer, what? So it's more about the development patterns, but then that impacts the roads, and the roads impact development patterns. Originally, and Huntingtown High School was cited before Wilson and I, right before we became county commissioners. And originally, the traffic light at Huntingtown High School was supposed to be temporary. Well, guess why it's not temporary? Because there is no way to exit it onto Cox Road, which is where it was supposed to go, because of wetlands and ravines. A very, very expensive bridge, long bridge, would have to be built. So somebody just either wasn't being realistic at that time, or they really, really needed the high school, and they just said, we'll worry about it later. And we looked into it. We tried to find a way. We looked at Hanswood Road, we looked at Cox Road, and I'm telling you folks, it's all wetlands and ravines. And it won't work. Yes.
Susan,
This is Lenny Sneed.
talking about the changes that Monday you brought up about roads and stuff. What about the existing businesses that we already have? I mean, we all know the controversy at 101 with the 7-Eleven shopping center and those changes that were made in opposition to what a lot of folks in the community wanted. So what changes are going to be made to those businesses that are there or possible future businesses that are going to come? What cooperation do you think we would get or opposition would get if we downsized?
Well, I think if we're a town center, which we currently are, there's a real argument for larger businesses to come in. If we are a rural village, then that isn't defined right now. So we would have the opportunity to define that however we want to define it. If we wanted to define it that you don't have businesses larger than 10,000 square feet, we could do that. Now, existing businesses are always grandfathered. And when we did St. Leonard, our community planning and building staff really tried